Hello and welcome to Flippin' Fantastic Podcast. I'm Mo87 Official.
Hi, I'm Amy, Beach by Repeat.
And I'm Shane, Soda City Flips.
You're listening to the Flippin' Fantastic Podcast.
If you're watching this and you aren't subscribed, go hit that button right now and watch this.
Let's be real, we're the #1 reselling podcast.
Wow.
Yay!
Special guest
We're so glad
today.
Shane's here. I'm
Yay.
excited.
I'm happy to be here, y'all. Thanks for the invite.
Of course.
Thanks for
I
coming.
know we're interfering with your thrifting and sourcing, but soon
We'll
as
try and be
we
quick.
hit in, you can run out the door and start sourcing.
It's all good. It's thrift stores around me opened up about 15 minutes ago, but I'm actually buying out another reseller today at
Oh,
around
okay.
that's
5 p.m. So I learned we have a Habitat for Humanity restore here in town. And I've
yeah.
seen it a million times. Never
Mhm.
once thought that that could be a sourcing opportunity. But
Mhm.
in my live show last night, somebody had mentioned finding good stuff there. And I was like, "You know what? I wasn't planning it because I was gonna do this show with you guys and then just kinda hang out around the house and list and do things, but I may actually go check that out today just to see what it's about and then go pick up all this inventory I'm buying off this friend of mine."
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, we have a couple of Habitat
Yeah.
for Humanities around here too. We've actually, because we have rental properties, we've actually been able to buy furniture, or not furniture, but cabinets and doors and faucets
Mhm.
and all kinds of stuff from
Yeah.
there. Because
Well,
normally
and
that's what we see a
that's
lot
what
of.
I've always thought that it was just like a cheaper place to go buy things like that, and, I
Mhm.
never considered it as a reselling source, but a lot of people are telling me, "Yeah, you can." Mike Camparelli told me last night, I forget what it was, some kinda spray vinyl or something that he bought. I think he said he paid $2.75 a can or a
Okay.
ton of them, and he's been selling them for, like, 23 bucks a can on
Wow.
eBay. So, like,
Nice.
things that, you wouldn't, I guess, necessarily think about, you can
Yeah.
find there, and that's
Yes.
why I wanna go check it
Mhm.
out and see what it's about, so I
Yeah.
think that's my
There's
plan for today.
Yeah.
That sounds good. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's also well, I sell a lot of knobs, like old, like, crystal knobs or brass knobs, and ours has a ton of them. They're just overpriced at ours. They sell them for $1 a piece, unless it's
Yeah,
something like crazy, vintage, like retro-y vintage looking. I just leave them, but they do
I
have a
gotcha.
lot of that stuff there too.
Yeah, that I
But that's
Yeah,
cool.
I was on a mission to find just like a towel rack, something for my bathroom that we had redone, and I never found
Uh-huh.
anything there, and I had to buy something online, but I was like looking because that's the kind of they get like one time I went in mine and they just had tons of like shower curtains. Like people just give them, I don't know if like stores or like I don't know what. It just gives them excess stuff and like sometimes they'll have paint. Well, a lot of times they have paint.
Oh,
Yeah.
tons of paint. Yeah,
And like
that's
tools and
ours.
stuff.
And they have
Mine has a whole big long shelf of just, where they put all the tools that they get.
I always see tools, blinds. I don't know why there's
Yeah,
always blinds
blinds.
there. And there's something else that's always flooring, like tile and like, the tongue and groove tiles, or
Yeah.
not tile,
yeah,
but the
Uh,
tongue and groove wood floors.
flooring, yeah.
There's tons. Mhm.
Mhm.
Always.
Yeah.
Matt loves it because we do our own projects, like our home projects and stuff like that. We've redone our laundry room. We had like our washer and dryer and stuff in there, but we didn't have like shelving above the washer and dryer. So I like measured it all out and I found cabinets so we could like put them together and make like a spot so we could hang clothes, that you don't
Yeah.
want to put in the dryer. So we did it all for probably like $50 total. That's with the
heck yeah.
paint and like all the new
Yeah.
stuff that we had to do
They'll
and
they'll
stuff.
pick up big
So
furniture too, cause my mom got some new furniture. They came and got, like, 2 big chairs. We had to throw the couch away because it was old and had flowers on it, and nobody wants floral couches.
which I think is funny.
But the chairs they came and got, so keep that in mind too. You got something you gotta get rid of.
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sinks and yeah, we've bought a sink there. We bought a vanity for our master bathroom because it's super long. It's probably like I don't even know, probably like an 8-foot space for the vanity because we had two single vanities and, stuff would fall off the sides, so we bought
Yeah.
one vanity and then built the, countertop, so it goes all the way across, there's nothing falling. It's a great source of, stuff. So
Yeah, definitely check it out.
I heard you on your live talking about the buyout that you're doing. Tell us
Yep.
about that, Shane, and how did you come across that? Because I'm super jealous, and then I can tell you the story about my faux buyout.
Well, this is the first time that I've been approached with the opportunity to buy another reseller out that actually worked out. It's happened plenty of times before where I get to looking at the inventory when I get to these people's places and it's not what they say it is. Or one guy, Evan Flippy McFlipperson, hit
Uh,
me up and he's like, "Hey, there's a guy out in your area. He's moving somewhere up north on the East Coast." And he's like, he's moving up there and he's a reseller and he wants to sell everything and then just start over when he gets up there. And the guy wanted 1,500 for everything. And Evan asked me if I wanted to go in half and half with him. And I was like, heck yeah, let's do it. So we get up there and start looking through everything. And I'd say 90% of this guy's stuff was electronics, which I love selling electronics, but that's a lot of testing and potential for things to not be working. And so we ended up passing. But this time, so a lot of people don't know this. They know I'm a snake guy. I have snakes. I have a channel about catching snakes and things like that. But we also have a turtle rescue. My wife and
mhm.
I, we rescue turtles. People don't realize how long term turtle pets are. That's a
Uh-huh.
very long
Mhm.
commitment, especially with tortoises. So we have a rescue here at the house. I built a thing in the backyard for the turtles, and we have tortoises in the house because it's wintertime now. And long story short, we went to this adult prom 2 years ago.
Oh,
And it
okay.
was so much fun, dress up to the nines and go dancing and whatever with your spouse. It was so much fun. Well, the couple that put this on, we became friends on Facebook and stuff. They knew we keep turtles and they reached out to us and said, "Hey, we don't have the space for our turtle. We've had her for like 7 years. She's pretty big." And they had her in a like 40-gallon aquarium, way too small. And they
Uh-huh.
knew we had our little turtle set up. So they reached out, asked if we'd be interested in taking her. So we said, "Yeah." Well, I never knew, but they're also resellers.
Small world.
They never mentioned it to me in the last couple of years that I've been posting content on Facebook and everywhere else. She reached out to me via Facebook Messenger and she's like, "Hey, we're eBay sellers too, and we're thinking about getting out of it. Would you be interested in, possibly buying us out?" So I said, "Yeah, let me see what you got." So she sent me a link to her store. I liked what I was seeing. She had a few couple $100 items in there. And then there was 296 things in her store, and she had another 300 to 400 unlisted. And she was sending me pictures, telling me everything. She only wanted $500 for all of this stuff. And the couple of $200 items that I got will make most of my money back. And then there's a lot of like brand new sneakers. So there's like Adidas and Nike and all these different brands of
Yeah.
shoes, brand new clothing. Everybody knows I like to sell ladies' jeans. They fly off the shelves for me.
You know
Lots
why,
of stuff like that, but why?
because you're modeling them? That's what I heard.
Yeah, if you guys go to my store, there's the very last picture is me in every picture. Real
Sorry.
cute in those size zeros.
The butt sparkling all over the
But
place.
but yeah, so she's got plenty of good inventory. Some of it's probably gonna be, slow movers and things like that. But for $500 and she's throwing in all her packing materials, 2 cases of 36 rolls of tape and
Wow. That's a good that's
boxes
a
and
good deal
packing
right there.
paper. Yeah,
Ugh,
exactly. So that's gonna happen today, and you guys know I'm very recently become full-time. So
yeah.
I
Mhm.
need I need buys like this and stuff to keep things moving because I have a goal to list at least $400 every single day. And I've been able to do that for the past 3 weeks. Like my golf club buyout I did down in Florida with Kevin, Commonwealth Flipper. I'm almost out of clubs to list. So I need inventory. And
Right.
yesterday I went thrifting. I spent $13 and bought 3 things in about 8 hours. Yesterday was a bomb. So today'll be good to get all that inventory in my
Yeah.
hands.
Heck yeah.
Mhm.
How do you, what kind of space do you have for
So
inventory?
this room I'm in here is my death pile shelf is to my left. My shipping station and camera station are here to the right of me. So I have shelves set up there. And it's actually like a 4-tier shelf that's like 8 feet tall, but I just have it broken in half, so 2 4-foot tall shelves. And I have a photo booth over there, shipping station right there, but then on the walls
Mhm.
are shelves full of books because everybody who's ever asked me about my reselling origins knows I started selling on Whatnot. I was selling books. So I have about 2,000 books over here on the wall.
Oh,
And then
wow.
I have two 12 by 16 buildings
Oh, okay.
outside. So one of them hold like all our personal belongings. We go camping a lot, things like that. So all our camping
Mhm.
gears out there, stuff like that. My lawn maintenance equipment, stuff's in there. But that's also where I keep all my shipping boxes that aren't the like 8 by 6 by 4s and the little smaller boxes that I use on a regular basis. They're
Yeah.
in here. But all the bigger boxes and golf club boxes and stuff like that are out there. And then the other building is just strictly inventory that's been listed. So I got
Gotcha.
shelves set up all in there. I have a clothing rack for things that I don't want to sit in I use these Ziploc, not Ziploc, but like these little bags that
Uh-huh.
hold my jeans and stuff. And certain items I want to keep hanging up so they're not just sitting in there getting creased,
Yeah.
month.
Mhm.
But yeah, so I have this room and then two buildings outside.
That's awesome. That's great.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, are you one of those lucky people that have a basement? Seems like everybody has basements, you know?
No, and it's crazy. So South Carolina, it's really weird. There's like red clay everywhere near the lakes and stuff, and all those people have basements. But where I live, it's sand.
Mhm.
Nobody has basements because I guess with the sand the way it is, I mean, you can't structurally make a basement work without spending tons and tons of money. So no basement for me.
Right. Yeah, same. I mean, obviously, I live in Virginia Beach. There's no basement. We're,
Yeah,
it's a newer home, or they're the older homes in Virginia Beach, like that are down by like the oceanfront area. Some of them have basements, which is amazing because somebody that goes to the auction with us, he probably lives like maybe 8 to 10 blocks from the actual like ocean. And he
yeah,
has a basement in his house, but his house was built in like 1900, like something like that. And he has a basement, which I think is crazy to think that, being that close to the ocean, that people have basements and stuff like that. So
yeah.
that's
Mhm.
awesome. So at least you have lots of places to store all of your new acquisitions, which I'm
Yeah,
jealous.
it's gonna be fun going through it because I saw everything that's listed in her store, and I saw some pictures of the items that's not listed. So I have a pretty good idea what it is, but I didn't see everything. So I'm pretty excited to see what all it is. She took down some stuff that was in her store that were she was actually selling for like her sister, but it was like her sister's prom dress and like some
Oh,
books,
yeah.
stuff that I don't really care for anyways. I have enough books, I don't need more.
Right.
So for the most part, it's going to be pretty excited going through everything and get listing. I need the
Yeah.
inventory, and this opportunity just kind of fell into my lap. Like I said, I've only known these people for 2 years because they did this adult prom thing, but I don't really know them that well, so I had no idea. They'd never mentioned to me that they were resellers, so
Maybe
kind of caught
maybe
me
they're
off guard.
Maybe they're one of
It's
those,
funny.
like, closet resellers that don't tell people because they of the stigma,
Yeah,
the reseller stigma, and they're
yeah.
like, "I don't want people to know that we do that." Because
I
so
want
did you s
everybody to know because then they call me when they have stuff to get. You know what I mean? I just bought
Yeah,
Exactly.
right.
Another friend of mine hit me up and sold me 57 pairs of jeans, 150 bucks. 7 of those pairs of jeans were brand new with tags, Lucky brand that retail for $100 a piece.
Nice.
And then there was a tons of other brands that were new with tags, and I sell 3 of them and I got my money back, you know what I
Right.
mean? So
Yeah.
then there's 54 other pairs. I
That's
love
all.
when people hit me up and say, "Hey, I got this. Are you interested?" Doesn't
Yeah.
always work out, but sometimes it does.
That's true. I had
Mhm.
2 people reach out to me, and they basically wanted, like, the value of their store,
Yeah,
the value of their eBay store. One of them reached out, and they wanted probably, like, 60% of the store, and I went through their eBay and looked at it, and they wanted I can't remember what that price was at the time, but I passed on that. And then the other one, I knew he sent me videos of all the stuff that he had, and soon as he showed the video, I knew who it was because I've been to his yard sale. So I knew
yeah,
exactly inventory because I had been there many times. He wanted basically he said, "I have, like, I'll just say like 20 totes, 20 or 30, I think it was 30 totes of stuff. And it was like Marvel, DC, that kind of like Y2K kind of thing. And
Yeah.
he wanted $10,000. And his prices at the yard sale were really high too. So I passed on that. I was kind of, I was kind of bummed that it was like, ugh, I didn't even offer anything because clearly we would be too far apart.
I've been trying to, every opportunity that I can. So I'm looking everywhere for inventory. And I was on Facebook Marketplace the other day and I found this guy who had vintage like die cast tractor from the 50s, 60s, 70s, stuff like that. And those can do really well. So he had photos, like 4 photos of these Rubbermaid totes with just tractors thrown in them, like not very well taken care of. But I was still interested. I was like, if I can get these for the right price, they'll sell. So I see 4 photos with these totes and I'm like, what's your price if I buy them all? And he comes back with $50,000.
That's
And I was
insane.
like, oh, wow, okay, I'll have to pass. That's way out of my budget, but good luck to you,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. And he comes back with some comment like, if you don't have the money, you shouldn't be asking what my price is. I'm like, dude, you don't have $1,000 worth of stuff in that photo, right? Those photos, much less 50,000. Come on, man. Like, and I don't know how much your price is unless I ask you. I mean, he was just a
Exactly.
complete
Wow.
jerk about it. But I was like, man, Facebook Marketplace is brutal sometimes.
I know.
There's
Oh,
some
yeah.
there's
I
some
$50,000.
loonies on
it
Facebook
is
Marketplace, man.
Yeah. Well, I got lucky with the girl I'm buying from today. Her name's Alicia. Alicia's basically her price comes out to less than like 75 cents per item.
that's the ticket chain. That's
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
that's
it.
amazing.
that's the way to do it.
Yeah. Well,
You
like
should
Looking
keep
forward to it.
uh
are you gonna keep track of that sale separate to see how much, like, profit you make off of it
I
and do,
think
like, a
so.
video? Yeah,
Yeah, I thought
that
about
would be
doing that.
great.
Like, I'm not gonna film at their house or anything, me picking the
Well, yeah,
stuff
yeah,
up,
yeah.
but
yeah.
maybe do like a haul video and then,
Mhm.
break down a cost per item kind of thing. And then,
Yeah.
maybe 1 or 2 videos throughout and trying to
Uh-huh.
showcase that buy in general. It's definitely gonna make me money and it's gonna make me quite a bit of money.
Yeah.
So I'd be interested to just personally to know what those numbers turned out to be, when it's all said and done.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I would have jumped on that too because
Yeah,
yeah,
that's a
like I
good
knew it
deal.
was less than $1 a piece, but yeah, that's
Mhm.
amazing. So, snakes, Shane, how did you are you what's up with the snakes? And is your wife good with the snakes too?
She
'Cause
was not when we first started dating. We do a lot of camping. I love going hiking and things, and I've always been interested in snakes since I was a kid. Herpetology is the study of reptiles and amphibians. And I've always been a fan of herpetology. There's a thing called herping, and it's literally going out into the wild and trying to catch reptiles and amphibians. And it's something I've always loved doing. So I started a channel on it. But yeah, so I catch snakes, I relocate snakes. I'm one of the few snake experts in town that doesn't charge people to relocate snakes, because if I tell you, if I own a business and that's my job, I relocate animals, people are terrified of snakes. If I tell you I'm gonna come get it, it'll be $500, I'll come get it and move it, you're gonna kill the snake.
Right.
So nobody wants to pay $500, so I would rather do it for free. The snake gets to live and everybody's happy. I don't charge anything. I relocate snakes all over town for free, and I usually film it and post it up on my channel. Yeah, I've got 2 snakes in the house, 2 pet snakes. I've got a Honduran milk snake named El Serpiente, and
Those
then and then I've got my other snake. She is a banana pastel ball python, and her name is Reese Slitherspoon.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
I love
So
it.
So,
That's
I'm
awesome.
sure there the planes flying over my house. I don't know if you guys can hear it.
No.
When you relocate them, what does that mean?
So if you have a snake in your house or your garage or just in your backyard and I come get it, snakes, I don't know if you guys have ever seen all these memes on Facebook, especially in the spring when turtles are on the move. Always move a
Mhm.
turtle across the street in the direction it was going,
Alright.
because if you don't, it's just going to turn around and go back. It's kind of the same thing with snakes. They have like this homing device in them, we always know how to get back to where they come from. So if you take a snake or a turtle and you move them 100 miles away, they will spend the rest of their lives trying to get back home. Same thing with snakes. So you don't want to move a snake or a turtle more than like a quarter mile from where you found it, because it lives somewhere in that area
Mhm.
and it will die more than likely trying to get back there. I'll take generally the closest wooded area to where you live. I will take it as far into the woods as I can. I always tell people, if you don't want snakes in your yard, your house, you have to get rid of the things they're looking for. They're looking for food,
Mhm.
shelter, and water. If you have bird feeders in your yards, bird feeders attract mice, mice attract snakes. If you have things laying around in your yard, like children's slides and the little
Oh,
all that kind of stuff, it attracts snakes because they can hide underneath that kind of stuff. Wood piles and rocks and rock walls, all that kind of stuff attracts snakes. So if you don't want snakes, you got to do a little better cleanup around your yard. Simple as
oh
that. Because
my
if they
gosh.
don't have a reason to be there, they won't be there.
But Shane, we don't have a lot of snakes around here. I do find, like, I don't know what they're called, but they're little. They're, like tiny. But they live underneath the downspouts. Those like little, I don't know, drain diverters or whatever they're called.
Yeah,
They're like concrete. They live under there, but you need those. So
yeah.
how you gonna get rid of that stuff?
Though I'm assuming the snakes. So there's quite a few small snakes that full grown they're this big, and probably the most common is called a Decay's brown snake, and I have a feeling that's
Oh
probably
no.
what you
It's,
have.
it's creepy,
But
is what they're called.
those snakes are, and most of the small snakes, they're great for gardens because they feed on slugs and snails and things that tear up your
Hmm.
gardens. You'll find them around places that attract that kind of thing. So underneath that, right, it's damp and it's wet and
Yeah.
slugs and stuff love that kind of thing. So that's why they're under there.
Ugh. I mean, I don't mind them when they're that tiny because it's kinda like, it's
I
tiny and it doesn't want me to touch it anyway, so
I tell
Right.
myself and other
it's like,
people, as long as they're not in your house, but like they're keeping the rodent population down, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Although we
There's
have,
a lot of
yeah.
snakes out there that eat
yeah.
other snakes. So if
Mm.
there's ones that they're immune to venomous snakes'
Oh
venom,
wow.
so they'll
Oh,
eat them.
wow.
So it's
Wow.
good to have snakes around. Not
Yeah.
everybody sees it that way, but
Hmm.
as long as you're not seeing a ton of venomous snakes around your yard, you're
Yeah.
fine.
I wouldn't even
We have like
know. I don't
rat
know. I wouldn't
snakes
even know
and
what it looks like. Water
garter
moccasins,
snakes.
like, there's a lot of water moccasins, that's all I
Yeah,
know
you
about
had that
The
too.
poisonous snakes.
easiest thing, all right, so when it comes to snakes, venomous versus non-venomous, learn the venomous snakes in your area because there's 10 times less. So in South Carolina, we have 6 total venomous state snakes in the entire state. Only 4 of them are in my area. So if you look at the venomous, if you go online, do some research, there's only going to be a small handful of venomous snakes in your area. You learn those 5 snakes. Anything after that, it's good. So if it doesn't look like the ones you learned, you're fine.
Yeah.
There's only
I'm gonna
one
learn to
around
run away.
here. There's only one in Delaware. It's the copperheads, but they're like kind of really only in one place. So not my backyard.
Hmm.
But I remember
Oh
when I
my
remember being a
gosh.
kid, there's a county park that was near my house, and everybody was like, "Oh, somebody found a copperhead. Somebody saw a copperhead in that park." Like that was the big, be careful walking around in that park because somebody saw a copperhead. Who knows if they did? But that was the kid thing because according to everything I see, they're only really in the one place. There's like like a colony, I don't know what you call them. What do you call a group of snakes that live in that particular state
It's
park?
murder.
That's a
That's crows, right?
yeah, that's crows.
Yeah, crows are
Oh, man.
murders. What a strange name for a group of animals.
I
Yeah,
know,
and
it is.
just you mentioned copperhead. Down here in the South, everything's a cottonmouth or water moccasin. That's every snake. Doesn't matter what it is. That's what everybody thinks. It's a water moccasin. It's a
Right.
cottonmouth.
It doesn't matter.
And 99% of the times, it is not. Like
Yeah.
cottonmouths don't live where I live. 30 minutes south of me, they do. Where I'm at, they don't. But every snake, everybody thinks is a cottonmouth.
Hmm.
If we think they're all poisonous, then we just don't go near them, Shane.
Hey, I mean, that's one way to never get bit, right? I get bit
True.
by dang near every snake I pick up bites
Oh,
me.
geez.
Oh,
including El Serpiente's little grumpy butt. He hasn't bitten me in a little while, but he bites a lot. I
I
mean,
can't.
you
I
have you
can't.
ever have you ever walked through the woods and get like a thorn or something scrapes your leg? That's what a
Yeah.
snake bite feels like. It's very similar. It's not very painful. I mean, if it's got fangs and venomous, yeah, I'm sure it hurts like hell. But
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
sure. Oh my god.
snakes have a lot of teeth, but they're very very tiny. A cat scratch is worse.
No
Cat
way.
scratch could
Um,
kill you sometimes
no.
with the, you get infected and with the cat scratches.
That
But
cat scratch fever?
I just want to. Shane can't see this, but I do have on our recording screen. It's Soda City Herps. Do you want to see some snake content? I have it up.
Oh,
It's very cool.
okay. That's not yeah, I didn't know you had a snake channel, Shane. I'll
Hmm.
have to,
Yeah, it's fairly small. As you can imagine, reptiles don't hibernate. They're not mammals. They do what's called brumation. So they'll go underground, they'll hide while it's cold. But if a nice warm day like today happens, they'll come out and try
They'll
to
come back out.
catch something to eat or
Hmm.
soak up some sun and stuff like that. Then when it turns cold again, say tomorrow, if it's cold again,
mhm.
they just go back
They
in
go back.
brumation and they just stay there dormant until it warms up again. So right now is not the greatest time to be out filming trying to catch snakes because for the most part they're going to be brumating
Hmm.
out of
Hibernating.
sight and you won't be able to find them. But in like Florida, would you could still be grinding out some herping videos down there right now. It's a
Brumation,
small
that's such a
channel. I'm hoping it'll kick back off in the spring, early spring,
Yeah.
and get some more subscribers over there.
I'm sure. I'm
It's
sure
fun
it
though.
will. Brumation sounds like a Harry Potter word. So did when you were doing Whatnot, when you started, did you do because I know you like Stephen King books and
Hmm.
are all things Stephen King, right? Did
Yeah.
you like how did you start your Whatnot? Were you selling like your personal books or were you like sourcing books or something like that?
I was sourcing books. So I discovered Whatnot accidentally because I was looking for an online bookstore. I'm not a big fan of bookstores. I never have
Mhm.
been. I love to read. I will not read on a Kindle or any of that garbage. I like books. And I was looking for some books online and Whatnot advertisement or like a link or something and I was like, what is this? So I checked it out and I was like, oh, this is amazing. I was like, this is like eBay but live. And
Mhm.
I remember eBay from back in the 90s when I was into sports cards and I would buy and sell on there to build my sports card collection. I would buy
Mhm.
stuff, resell it on there and so I could buy the cards I actually wanted. Anyway, so I came across Whatnot and I was checking it out and I was buying books and I was like, "Man, this is a lot of fun. I think I could do this." I had a camera that I had bought just for taking photos of the reptiles and stuff, amphibians and things that I find. I sold it on eBay for $1,000 and I went and bought $1,000 worth of books, started selling on Whatnot. And everybody's like, man, that's backwards. Nobody starts on Whatnot. But that's what I did.
Mhm.
I found Whatnot, was sourcing on there for my personal collection, and then just fell in love with the idea of selling on that platform. So I started doing it and I built a fairly decent following pretty quick. The book community on Whatnot is amazing. They're all great. They're very supportive of each other, and my following grew pretty quickly within the book community. Now, the problem is when I run a show now, if it's not books, it bombs because
Yeah.
all of my followers, I have under 1,000 followers over there, but I haven't done shows in a while. They're all book buyers. So if
Yeah.
I do like a plus show or if I try to offload some clothing and stuff that I have,
Yeah.
it's very hard for me to get sales because I was so niche down when I started that now
Mhm.
that I'm trying to, or now that I am a everything seller, when I go to Whatnot, is very difficult. So I'm working on it. I'm still running shows from time to time, and if things don't sell, they don't sell. But eventually, I'll get bigger audience, and things will move.
Mhm.
For now, it's
Hmm.
been slow, but when I do book shows, I do great. I did a Stephen King only show, and I sold I think 53 books, 500, right around $500 in
Wow.
Wow.
just an hour and a half. So
Hmm.
So did you
when I
think
do book
about
shows, I did great.
have you thought about just doing book shows on Whatnot? like having like
Yeah.
multi
Yeah.
streams and then just doing that and grow that again because
Yeah,
that
and that
sounds
because
pretty
that's where
lucrative.
I did the best. Like, even my very first show, very
Mm-hmm.
first Whatnot show, I did a vintage sci-fi, fantasy, and horror. So all these books were, like, from the 50s and 60s, little small paperbacks. And my first show, I did almost $300 that day or that
Shane,
night. I was doing Sunday night. So
Shane, you need to hop back on that train.
I know.
it's
You know?
books are they're easy to move over there, and they're so
Wow.
cheap. They're cheap, cheap, cheap. Like, I have one little I forget it's called Mission Lexington, and it's a religious-based thrift store. I don't remember what their little story is or whatever, but their books are 10 cent a piece,
Oh, wow.
Huh.
and, like, you can literally go in there with 50 books and buy every book or $50 and buy every book they have at one time,
Wow. Shane,
versus, like,
Shane, Shane, Shane.
it's the way to go if you're gonna be a bookseller. But even at Goodwill, paperbacks are a dollar. I think hardbacks are $2. But if I buy a paperback for a dollar and it sells for $3 to $5, I mean, that's really not bad because it's such a quick
Right.
turnaround.
Right.
It's not
Yeah.
going on eBay where it's sitting for 2 years. It's gone like within seconds.
What
So
are the
I
what
don't
are the
mind
prices
doing
at the
that.
bins? What are your books at the bins?
Oh, I forget. I very rarely go to the bins. Our book, they usually have 2 big rollout tote things full of books, but
Yeah.
as soon as our bins opens at 10 a.m. Yeah, 10 a.m. And there's generally a pretty good line.
Yeah.
They set stuff out before they fill all these bins up or whatever and put them out before they open, and they never do it again the rest of the day. So if you don't
Oh,
get there right when they open,
Oh, okay.
you're not I mean, you can find some stuff, but it's very hard to find stuff. You're digging through the stuff nobody else wanted. And there's I don't know, 10 or 12 hardcore book people in there every
oh,
single day.
okay.
So it's a fight, and I don't like not to say I don't like bumping elbows and stuff, but
Mhm.
when I'm out there, I don't want a drama, so I just stay away from those guys because there's literally only 2 bins, and I mean, they're banging into each other trying to get to stuff, and I'm not trying to deal with that.
Drama's good for YouTube views, Shane.
I
It is, and I can film at my bins location.
Is it the same one that Josh goes to? Is
Yeah.
it a different
Yep.
one? It is?
It
Oh,
is.
okay.
Yep.
I'm
Yep.
familiar with that one.
Yeah.
I
It's
It's
like,
love
not a
okay.
bad
books, but
Yeah.
location.
I never sell them. And I also am a Kindle reader because if I didn't, my whole house would be full of books. So
I don't
that's the
know. I
only
grew
reason I
up
do.
so
I
my
like
mom
real
got me
books.
reading
I
my
had
mom
to.
got me reading when I was very young, and Stephen King was the
Hmm.
first novel I'd ever read was Firestarter by Stephen King 'cause my
Hmm.
mom was a Stephen King fan, and she kinda passed that on to me, and I wish I had it in front of me. I wrote this freaking amazing I feel like it was amazing eulogy when my mom passed, and I read at her funeral, and it was all about her and I going on these adventures together, through my childhood growing up and even to the recent years, going on these adventures to the land of Oz or all these
Mhm.
different places that we read about in
Right.
books and things like
That's
that.
Yeah.
Because
awesome.
a lot of the times, mom would read something and she'd go, "Oh, Shane would love this," and she'd bring it to me or
Hmm.
whatever, and I'd do the same thing. So we read a lot of the same books, and I wish I had that in front of me. I could read it, but she was amazing. She got me into my love of Stephen King for one, but just in reading general,
Yeah.
and I bought a Kindle when they first came out. No, it was the Nook color. So that was back in like '09 or something, '08. I bought it because I was like, this is amazing. Books right at your fingertips. All you got to do is
Yeah.
freaking pay for it, download it. You can touch on a word if you don't know what that word means, and it will give you the definition.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool, but something about it, I couldn't get into it. I was like, this isn't reading to me. Like I need to have the
I
book. I need to be
understand.
able
A
to
lot of
turn the
people are that
pages.
way, but I did it.
Yeah.
I got a Kindle when they first came out. I had just had my son. I read a couple of books a week, and the room I'm sitting in was full of books. Like, I've read through the library. I read a lot, so
Yeah.
it helps because I just don't have a place for all the books that I want. So I'm much more selective in the books I buy. I buy prettier ones
Yeah.
now and just, ones that I'll keep and stuff. I did sell books on Amazon like way back in the day for not for very long. It was kind of a drag. But that's cool that on Whatnot that there's a big book community. I've never
Yeah, the
found it,
the
but I'm
book
gonna have to
community
look
is
for them.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good. And they're pretty niche down shows too a lot of the time. So like I said, I did a vintage sci-fi fantasy horror, and I do a lot of those shows when I do books because
Yeah.
that's a really cool community on Whatnot is the
Mhm.
vintage sci-fi fantasy and horror. But you can find people that are just doing romance, or like one time I ran an all-female author show, and that one did really good.
That's cool.
All Stephen King shows. Some people do
Mhm.
like the classics, like 1984 and Fahrenheit 451, To Kill a
Mhm.
Mockingbird, those types of books. It'll just be all stuff like that. So
Right.
it's pretty cool. They're all, like I said, super supportive of each other and super friendly. It's an amazing community over there.
Sweet.
What's the Stephen King book that we should look for, Shane, in the wild?
Rage,
Raid.
but it's
Oh,
Richard Bachman. So
oh, because it's
Steve,
an
he
Oh,
alias.
wrote
okay.
under an alias, Richard Bachman, for a few years. Rage is the one to look for.
Okay. Well, how old is it? Is it like seven? I don't know. I don't know anything about Stephen King.
Eight
Is it 70s,
eighty.
80s?
If I remember correctly, it's the early 80s. But basically, just a brief synopsis, or the reason why it's the sought after book is because it's about a school shooting. And
Oh,
with all the school shootings, Stephen King pulled it off the shelves. He said it'll never be published again. So
yeah.
Okay.
any copy of Rage is a good copy to find, but the first edition one is thousands.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
if you happen to come across a signed copy, because they are out there,
Let you
just
know?
yeah,
Oh.
yeah, I'll buy it.
You get first
I'll
dibs.
take out a second mortgage.
Yeah. You know how at the I do the Goodwill auction
Yeah.
outlet?
I wish
Uh,
they did that in my location. That looks like so much fun.
Yeah.
yeah, it is. It's hit or miss, but they have Gaylords filled with books. You can buy like the whole Gaylord, and I think it starts at 40. I don't know. There's been a price structure change, so I don't know. I bought one Gaylord of books. I was like, I'm gonna take a chance because I scanned two of the books like on the top, and they would have
Mhm.
made money back. So that's what I did. I bought them, and I've made my money back, but I ended up like, because when you buy those Gaylords, you don't have to take everything. You can just go through, take what you want, and leave the rest. So I went
Oh, that's
through it.
cool.
Yeah, so I went through it and I left probably like 95% of the book and just kept
Oh,
like the
wow.
ones that were selling for like $5 or $10 or more. So I sold a Bible. I paid $40 for that too, and I sold a Bible for 35 plus shipping. And then I sold some other like two other books, I think. But it's a lot of work.
It is, and that's part of why I prefer Whatnot. There's so many books out there that are not worth trying to sell. I don't know. I come across books on eBay whenever I'm popping stuff out, and I'm like, this guy's got this book for sale for $5 with free shipping.
Yeah, I don't
There's
understand.
no money to be made.
Yeah, I
Media
don't.
mail is like 5.63 a pound.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
so you're already in the
Exactly.
negative if you
Mhm.
use media mail. Yeah, you can get lucky and get ground advantage for cheaper if that person happens to live closer to you, but there's
Exactly.
no way to make money at selling books like that, and they're all over eBay. I'm assuming they're getting some crazy discount on shipping,
Yeah, I don't know.
because maybe the
Yeah.
volume they do
I
is
yeah. I
insane.
don't understand those. I don't get it, but yeah.
Yeah, books are fun. You definitely vintage fantasy, sci-fi, and horror is amazing, but any sci-fi, fantasy, and horror
Mhm.
will sell. There's a lot of like romance. Nobody's buying romance novels. I think that was like a 80s thing, and
Yeah,
nobody's really not the romance novels that you remember with like the Fabio covers and all that kind
exactly.
of
Yeah.
stuff. Those things aren't selling now. There's authors out there that do really well that have romance books. Like I think Lucy Score is one of them. Colleen Hoover has romance thrillers and stuff like that'll sell. But yeah, you just got to know what you're looking for. I'm just looking over here at this wall of books behind me, and I'd say 75% of it's all horror books, fantasy books, sci-fi books, and then all kinds of different vintage stuff.
So are
So
those books that you're looking at, are they your personal books? Or are they listed somewhere?
they're not listed at all. These are all Whatnot books, and there's
Shame.
1,500 to two
Yeah, get
thousand
on
right here,
that.
and then I have at least that many, and I have at least that many in one of the buildings outside.
That's
So I probably
crazy.
have about
Shame.
3,000 books, I bet.
Oh my gosh. Shame. That
So
means
much money.
you at least have what, 3,000 books times $3. That's $9,000 sitting there waiting for you,
Yeah,
Shane.
and you nailed it because I don't sell any book for less than $3. Every $3 starts on everything paperback, usually 6 on hardback
hardback.
books.
I'm gonna
People are willing to pay on Whatnot because there's a lot of collectors on Whatnot,
Mhm.
yeah.
and they want to build their collection, so they're willing to pay. Like the vintage sci-fi books, for instance,
Oh,
I
yeah.
get them for like 50 cents a piece and
Mhm.
a $3 start, and these guys will run them up to 10, $12
Wow.
because they don't
I
have that one
gotta
in their collection. So
this is going
books are fun.
in my bank. I probably have, like, a tote of full of that kinda stuff in my bank. Like I said, I had books everywhere. I
Yeah.
gotta start looking through my stuff.
Yeah.
Well, and with me losing my full-time job recently and now trying to go full-time reseller, I gotta get back to Whatnot because when I first started reselling, that was a pretty good. I mean, it wasn't really an income, but I mean, 300
Uh-huh.
bucks on my very first show, for
That's
2 hours of
Yeah,
my time,
fun money for
exactly.
and
sure, you know?
like this the Stephen King the Stephen King only show did $500 by
Wow.
itself. So like there's money on my shelves, and now
Yeah,
that this is my full-time job, I have to take advantage of that. So
right.
I'm gonna have
Mhm.
to set up some Whatnot shows soon.
Yes.
Cool, cool. I will
We'll
be there.
yeah, we'll be there to support you and stay on it. And we're gonna badger you now. Shane, when's your show?
I know.
Heck yeah. Hey, hold me accountable. You guys see me in the Discord. I'm constantly trying to be active in that group because I want the push. All of you guys have been such big supporters and giving me encouragement and stuff to do this. So I appreciate the drive. So yeah, hound
Yeah.
me, push me.
So you have a like a monetary number you're chasing daily, or is it a number of listings? I know we know the
Um
answer, but
Yeah. So, well, I was talking with Corey and I was telling him what I needed to make per month. And
Mhm.
he did some calculations and he was like, here's what you need to list in order to hit your income for the month. And it was, I think he said $300 a day listed is what I need to be shooting for. But if I wanted to err on the side of caution, try to
Mhm.
hit 400. So I said, well, 400. If I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it, right? So I'm not going to squeak by at 300. I want to list at least 400 every day. And I've managed to do that every single day. And I've been sharing my statistics and all that stuff over the past couple of weeks with you guys in the Discord. So you guys know, but my numbers have been steadily climbing in the right direction. And that's just a huge boost of confidence in itself. It makes me believe that this is possible. And I know so many people are full-time resellers. I know it's possible, but I never considered it an option for me until I was kind of forced into it. So,
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm pushing hard, I'm grinding hard, and I'm gonna do everything in my power to make it work.
I mean, obvious it's totally possible, you know?
Mhm.
It's the drive and the motivation and you know, it sounds like you've got it, Shane. It's
I'm
totally
trying. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of you guys behind the scenes that have helped me believe in myself. So thank you guys for one, and everybody else that's been supportive.
and the fact that that your wife works too, that
Yeah,
kind of
that
helps,
helps.
Yeah.
I mean, I could
Yeah,
imagine,
because
like, literally going full time from no but, like, if you both weren't working and then you had to, like, supplement, it's like, "Oh my god," that would be
yeah,
harder.
and so I have one more severance check coming, which will be here. What's today's the 10th? So in like another week, I get my last severance check, and that'll hold me over until the new year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I figured basically that gave me 30 days to push, 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 and see where I'm at when those 30 days are up. Because I got laid off on the 15th, so it's actually going to be more like 45 days because the severance checks are holding me over, but.
Mhm.
January 1st, I should have a pretty good idea of where this business is going for me. And if I need to freaking DoorDash a couple times a week, to make ends meet until the numbers get to where I need them to, then that's what I'll do. I'm gonna do, like I said, everything I can to make it work. I'm like you, Amy. My wife does nothing with the business, so it's all me, every bit of it. She's always supported reselling and the YouTube and things like that. But she really doesn't care about it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like she doesn't care. She's pushing me to do this full time. So like she was the
That's
first one
good,
to say,
though.
"Why don't you just resell full time?" She's very supportive, but yeah, I don't. She don't ship. She don't list. She didn't even source. She
She
will
does
bring
it.
me stuff. She'll bring me
Oh,
stuff, and
okay.
she loves yard sales and the
Okay,
flea
that's good.
market. She's not a fan of thrift stores. I don't. know why, but she just never wants to go to thrift stores. But anytime I want to go yard selling or the flea market, she's usually down to go. We went to Florida recently for the A1A 150-mile sale, and then
Mhm.
we hit up ADH Dave's container sale. That first day we were down there, I spent $6 the entire time, and my wife
Oh,
loaded up with stuff because she was shopping for herself, things for the house and whatever. And I spent an entire $6 the first day. I didn't realize Flippy McFlipperson and Julian Bearded Thrift Machine both were in the same area I was in the day before. So they
oh,
had already
Oh.
picked it clean. So I
yeah,
got there a day late and a dollar short.
Yeah.
But
right.
but yeah, she loves to go out to yard sales and flea markets and look for treasures and stuff. But she's not buying to resell. She'll give me like she knows I like to sell jeans, so if she's cleaning out her closet or whatever, she'll give me stuff or shoes or whatever. But she doesn't
Mhm.
go out of her way to be a part of the business.
Well, at least she likes going with you,
Yeah.
like, she's not like, I don't wanna see it, I don't wanna touch it, I don't nothing, you know?
Yeah, I think she
That's
likes
good.
the thrill of the hunt, but something about thrift stores, she did in the bins, she saw my very first bins video, and she was like, "No way, I will never go there."
Yeah,
So,
I
I get
I
that.
can get it, I get it, especially yeah, especially that, when they're bringing the new bins out and it's just that rush of people, and some people can be so rude,
yes.
like, we went, like, a couple days ago, and it's just crazy how rude some people can be, it's as if it's their inventory and you are in their space, you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, tomorrow is half day price at ours. Wednesday is a good day for the flea market, so I'm thinking about hitting up the flea market in the morning, because the bins don't open till 10. Flea market opens at 7, so I could hit that for a couple of hours and then head over to the bins. But it's supposed to rain, so if it's raining, the flea market will not be doing much at all, and the bins will be freaking packed.
Packed.
So now I'm
Mhm.
Mhm.
like, please don't rain. Please let the flea market be open.
Yeah.
Because if not, everybody will be at the bins.
I mean,
It'll
that's
be fun
crazy.
either way.
You'll have to have, like, do a video of, Soda City versus Harry Tornado to see who
Yeah.
can find the best stuff that day. That would be
You
a
know what's
good
funny?
Uh-huh.
Somebody
video.
somebody told
And
me
Zoe can be the
what I
referee.
should do. He'll be there. So
Mhm.
somebody told me one time what I should do is go to Josh and Haley's booth, buy everything, and then go set up at the flea market and try to sell it back to them
Oh my gosh, that would be so
for
good. Or
video content.
do
That
you
would
know
be
what else would be good,
hilarious.
Shane? Buy their entire booth and have a whatnot show, and then have all of their people come and buy Josh and Haley's booth stuff.
Heck yeah.
That would be
I was
funny.
gonna I was gonna steal their gumball machine and take it down to Orlando for the Trash to Cash Winter Bash because they were gonna be there.
Oh
And
my
so I was like,
gosh.
I should totally steal their gumball machine and take it up and set it up at at every location we go to for this event. I didn't do it because I was like, man,
Oh my
I don't wanna upset them, make them mad. I think
yeah.
maybe they would have thought it was funny, but I don't know. I don't know them that well enough. Like we've played golf together a couple of times, Josh and I, and
Yeah.
even Haley played with us the last time, but we're not like super tight or anything. So I didn't know how they'd take that, but it was an
I'm
idea I
sure
had. And I thought it would be
it
funny.
probably would have been okay if it was after you had played golf together, so
Yeah.
kinda, you kinda, like, knew each other a little more, but that would have been funny if,
Yeah.
every like, literally, like, if you went, like, thrift stores, there's, like, the gumball machine as soon as you walk
Yeah.
in, it's like, "What
That
is
was I
this?"
was like, I'll set it up at the hotel lobby. I'll do it at the dinner
Yes.
location. Like that was my plan. But then at the same time, like I would have to keep an eye on it the whole time, kind of thing.
Exactly.
Like somebody walk off with it because it's not bolted down or anything. But
Yeah, and
it
it's
it
pretty
sounded it
big.
sounded like a fun idea at the time.
Exactly. That would have been funny. It's one of those big ones, right? Isn't it like a 3
I think it is
gumballs?
3. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think it is
something like
3.
that. That would have been funny. I
Yeah.
I would have died laughing. I would have been like, oh, man." What other places do you sell on? Do you sell on Mercari or Poshmark or anything like
No,
that?
I've never
Yeah.
never tried Poshmark. So I'd sell on eBay 90% of the time, and then the occasional whatnot show. I tried Mercari 2 summers ago
Uh-huh.
for like 90 days. I had list perfectly. Yeah, I had List Perfectly, and I tried it for like 90 days, and I was cross listing everything to Mercari, and I got like 5 or 6 sales the first week and then nothing.
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 Like, and
Yeah.
I was doing the cross listing every single day, adding new items to Mercari, and I had started putting a lot of vintage T-shirts on there. They
Mhm.
were like New York Mets, New York Yankees, the Jets, and all these sports ones from the 80s, late 70s, early 80s.
Yeah.
All those sold really fast, and then
Yeah.
nothing, not
Nothing.
another sale
Yeah.
for, like, the next 12, 11 weeks or something, and I was like, "Alright,
Yeah.
I'm spending money on List Perfectly,
Ye
it's not working," so I just got away from it, and eBay's always worked, so I've just been listing everything on eBay.
Yeah.
Do you do, Bonanza too?
Nope, I've never tried Bonanza,
Oh, okay. I do,
and
well, I obviously, I do most of, like, 99% of my stuff on eBay too, but
yeah.
I love Bonanza. I mean, I love Bonanza's ease of use because you don't have to do anything, like, literally anything, and it delists automatically from your eBay store when it sells on Bonanza. I do, like, 1 sale a week, average of 1 sale a week on Bonanza.
I've never even looked at it, so I should probably take a look because I see other people are making sales over there too. Kevin
Yeah.
talks about it in his videos. Corey and Teresa are steady getting
Mhm.
a few sales over there, and maybe I should look at it. I know for me, Mercari, I did not do good at all. The very first week, I sold every vintage T-shirt I listed, but after that, it was nothing. So I just kind of walked away from it and never looked back. I don't know if that's something I should look at again, but I've never done Poshmark, and people ask me all the time, "Why don't you do Poshmark with all the jeans that you
Clothes.
sell?"
I
I
mean,
don't
That's
it's
another thing.
true.
I have a ton of boutique clothing because my sister-in-law had a boutique store, and she closed it down and went back to her corporate job, and she gave me everything for free. So I got
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
tons of ladies boutique clothing, new
Mhm.
with tag stuff. It's boutique stuff, so it's not gonna be, Abercrombie and all these mall
yeah.
brands and stuff.
Right.
It's the Nana and Can jeans and stuff like that. But I have tons of it and I gotta offload it somewhere. Maybe
So you've got
Poshmark would
a
be good.
Yeah, it would be. So how many things do you think you have in your death pile? Or not, whatever. How much inventory do you think you have unlisted?
My
Like, with
shelf
all
here
of it?
next to me, I have probably 30 golf clubs, 8 or 9 pairs of shoes. I have a few hats. I still got probably 50 or 60 pairs of jeans that aren't listed between that buyout I just recently did and the ones I've had
Uh-huh.
previously. And then there's probably another 15 articles of clothing just right here. But all that stuff that I was just talking about, the boutique stuff, it's
Uh-huh.
out in one of my buildings right now. I brought it home and I've never done anything with it.
Mhm.
It's just been sitting back there. So
Yeah.
I have never really considered that a death pile because my intentions were that stuff was going to go straight to whatnot. I just never actually did it. I never set up the shows and never did it. So I haven't considered that part of the death pile because I never intended it to go on eBay to begin with.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So I don't know.
So you're not, like, starving for, inventory. Well, and you got that buyout
The
coming
Yeah,
buyout
and I got
coming
the
ASAP.
tonight.
buyout later
That's
today, so
awesome.
That's
yeah, I'm
good.
not I'm not hurting for inventory. Obviously, I wanna stay ahead of the game and get things when I can, just in case there's days like yesterday. What if I go
Yeah.
a whole week and have a week full of yesterdays? That's not
Yeah.
gonna be good.
Right.
I
Yeah, you
want
Then you
gotta
somewhat
just
keep
of
a
a
little
death
bit
pile.
cushion, yeah. Mhm.
then you start doing storage units and stuff.
I've been looking at auctions, online auctions, and I was talking to Evan Flippy McFlipperson yesterday on the phone. I called him and had a couple questions because he recently had a video where he did a in-person auction at one of the storage facilities, and I was like, man, how'd you find out about that? I'd like to do. I think that'd be fun. And
Uh-huh.
he was like, it was just like luck of the draw. One of our buddies, Jimmy, actually has a unit at that location, and he called Evan and was like, "Hey, they're about to start this auction. You should get over here." But I was talking to him about it, and he said 90% of the units that he bids on gets canceled because people come and pay,
Yeah.
before the
Mm,
auction closes.
yeah.
So I've been looking at some quite a bit lately and been bidding and stuff, but I haven't
Mhm.
won one yet. Some of them
Yeah.
get way, way high.
That's how it is around here too. Because, Jeebus, the treasure hunter, do you know his channel? He will bid on the stuff in our area too. So it's
Oh yeah.
almost because I'll look through them and you can kind of tell. I bet you Jeebus is going to bid on that, and then what do you know? It goes skyrocket, and then you know what? A week or two later, he's made a video on it. We're like, damn it! never gonna get any good. She's just buying all of our units. Well, not our units, but you know what I mean. So
Yeah, yeah,
that's
and
the struggle.
eventually, I think I'll be, once I get in a better position, I'll be able to bid on some of these bigger units and get some wins. But right now, with one severance check left, I'm kind of
Yeah.
being picky and not
Mhm.
overspending, just in case, I need to
Right.
take some of that money and make a the light bill or something happen for the month. Trying to
Yeah,
take it easy,
totally.
but I'm keeping my eyes open on everything.
We are so glad that do you have
Yes.
any more questions, Mo?
No.
Did you say
I
yes?
mean,
No?
probably. I could come
Well,
up with a lot
Shane,
more,
I
but
could
but we've been on for over an hour, so
I know. But we're so glad you came, Shane, and,
I'm
we
glad to
we
be
wish
here.
you the
Thank
best
you
of
guys.
luck. I
yeah.
know.
I appreciate it. I know you
I
guys
know, we're so
are root.
excited, and I am excited for your Whatnot shows.
Yeah, I gotta get something scheduled.
Yes.
But
So
I
go
appreciate
over
you guys
to
inviting me.
Whatnot. Yeah,
Yep.
go over to I have your Whatnot up here. Go over and follow Shane on Whatnot. So when his book sales come up, and then we got Soda City Flips. You have a card channel too, right?
Yeah, Soda City Rip. It's
Okay.
all non-sports cards. So like
Right.
vintage wax packs of like Howard the Duck and
Yeah.
all
That's
the
awesome.
Goonies and all kinds of cool stuff. But then I'm doing a lot of the newer products as well. It's just no sports. It's all non-sports cards.
See, I like that. I like
Awesome.
that's the non-sports cards.
It's
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah. So make sure you go
And
follow
you have Instagram too, right?
So basically, it's Soda City Flip
everywhere.
everywhere, TikTok, all that, and then
Everywhere.
I have Soda City Rips has a TikTok and a YouTube. It's mainly Soda City Flips everywhere.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate you coming on,
Thanks
Shane,
for
and
coming.
flipping out.
Well, thank you guys so much. I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Thanks so much for watching and check out more of our videos right here. We're flipping out.